Shut up and sit down.
10 lines on International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression for Kids, Children, School Students and Competitive Exams in English. Set 1. 10 lines on International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression for Kids. Set 1 is helpful for students of classes 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Number 1. Molestation, attack, and mental torture on children are increasing at an alarming rate in many countries around the world. Number 2. The mental health of children in war-torn nations such as Libya, Syria, and Iraq is in a very bad condition. Number 3. International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression is observed on 4th June every year. Number 5. Number 4. International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression was observed to commemorate the children killed during the Israel-Palestine conflict from 1982. Number 5. The devastating effect on children because of armed conflicts can have a negative effect on the country and its social dynamics. Number 6. In the year 1997, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution on the rights of the child in war-torn nations. Number 7. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development provides a roadmap for different governments around the world to secure a better future for their children. Number 8. Domestic violence abuses and rape is at an all-time high in countries that have experienced turmoil in recent years, such as Egypt, Libya, Pakistan, and Syria. Number 9. The objective of International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression is to spread awareness and educate the public about the atrocities that are being committed on children in countries such as Somalia, Afghanistan, and Colombia. Number 10. Lack of education, child labor, molestation, and human slavery are some of the issues that International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression talk about. Set 2. 10 lines on International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression for school children. Set 2 is helpful for students of classes 6, 7 and 8. Number 1. The International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression is celebrated on the 4th of June every year since 1982. Number 2. This day is observed by the United Nations General Assembly to commemorate the victims of child abuse across various countries. Number 3. One of the most horrific and unimaginable phenomena that can happen to children is taking away their rights and using them as human slaves. Number 4. Many journalists have reported instances of child labor, child abuse, and child slavery in countries such as Libya, Sudan, and Iraq. Number 5. The abuse of children is due to a lack of social structure and weak police vigilantism in failed democracies. Number 6. The human cost of war is usually borne by children because they would have lost their parents, their education, and their whole livelihood, and hence they grow up in an environment filled with hate and bigotry. Number 7. It is said that killing one terrorist will give rise to 100 more terrorists, and hence killing a parent will turn a child into a terrorist and then anarchist. Number 8. Child abuse and violence on children can have a cascading effect on the social, political, and economic aspects of a country. Number 9. The United Nations Relief and Work Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East area is making all efforts to protect children from abuse. Number 10. The United Nations Children's Fund for Child Protection and Convention on the Rights of the Child has pledged billions of dollars in war-torn nations to protect children from abuse and slavery. Set 3. 10 lines on International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression for higher class students. Set 3 is helpful for students of classes 9, 10, 11, 12 and competitive exams. Number 1. The International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression is observed in India by creating awareness campaigns around the country about child abuse. Number 2. International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression is not a public holiday, but rather a day of observance for people who have left children in a state of turmoil due to failed policies in failed democracies. Number 3. More than 2 million children have been killed in conflicts across Arab countries in the last 2 decades. Number 4. In countries such as Iraq, Iran, and Syria, who has been in civil war for more than a decade, has lost millions of people due to war and unrest within. Number 5. More than 10 million child refugees are now taken care of by the United Nations Refugee Agency. Number 6. It is because of the observance of International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression by the United Nations that child abuse is now a spotlight and a priority for international leaders. Number 7. The international community has to come together to save our children, else we will be leaving plenty of hatred and violence for future generations. Number 8. The main purpose of International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression is to educate the general public about the abuses that children are going through in many countries, and hence for their leaders to formulate proper policies and laws in place to prevent this abuse and violence on children. Number 9. The Cold War between the United States of America and the former USSR Russia has given rise to a lot of conflicts around the world which has resulted in increasing child abuse. Number 10. In India, the victims of child abuse are usually seen in the states of Jammu and Kashmir or Nagaland where civil unrest are at its peak.